Hello, y'all. We're going to look at the rest of day one, or whenever you're doing it. It doesn't necessarily have to be day one. So let me show you. So these are the next couple of problems. They're not too bad. A fast food restaurant has determined that the monthly demand for its hamburgers is given by P. Remember, little p is the demand function, or the price that you're willing to pay. So what we want to do is find the increase in revenue per hamburger for monthly sales of 20,000 hamburgers. And this is important because businesses need to know how many should I sell for maximum profit. So let's look at this. So here we go. P equals 60,000 minus X over 20,000. And we know that R equals X times P. So right now, this is kind of scary looking. I know y'all don't like fractions. So can we break this up and have 60,000 over 20,000 minus X over 20,000? We can, and now this looks a lot better because 60,000 divided by 20,000 is simply just 3. Now here we can rewrite this as 1 over 20,000 X. Okay, we could just leave that. These numbers are going to clear up in a second and you'll see that, so don't worry about that scary 1 over 20,000. So let's find, and it wants to increase in revenue per hamburger. So if we want revenue, that's R, and we know that formula. We just have to multiply through by X. But also, we know that per hamburger, the word per means rate. Rate means derivative. So that's really a clue right here that they want us to take the derivative of revenue. So let's look at this. R equals X times, right? There we go. So now R equals 3X minus 1 over 20,000 X squared. Whoops. Okay, so now we have our revenue, and it says find the increase in revenue per hamburger. So the increase per hamburger means find the derivative. So the derivative of this is just 3 minus, and if we multiply 2 times the 1 over 20,000, that's just 1 over 10,000, right? So now we can, it wants us to do 20,000 hamburgers, so we put 20,000. 3 minus, and if we multiply 20,000 here for X, 20,000 divided by 10,000 is simply 2 equals 1. Now, if you don't want to take the derivative, what's your alternative, right? So right here at this point, if you don't want to do this part, you can go off here and do what? You can put your math 8 in. So grab your calculator and go to math 8. And it's going to be dx. And you're going to put this equation in. Let me see if I can fit. There we go. So 3x minus alpha y equals, right? And you can convert that to a decimal if you'd rather. And then out here, we say that we want 20,000 burgers. And you'll see we get the same answer of 1, right? You get the same answer of 1. The thing I want you to remember, okay, this is the big key topic. Once we get to revenue, you have a choice. You take the derivative yourself and plug in 20,000, or you don't take the derivative, you go to math 8 and then plug in 20,000. If you go to math 8, your calculator is going to take the derivative for you, so you don't need this part. You don't want to do this and math 8, otherwise you've taken a derivative twice, okay? All right, one more problem and we'll be done with this. So let's look at example 4. Suppose in example 3, the cost of producing X hamburgers is this equation here, 5,000 plus 0.56X, and that's for 0 to 50,000. Find the marginal profit when you produce 20,000 hamburgers and when you produce 24,000 hamburgers. So what is that formula for profit? Okay, we already remember that profit is revenue minus cost. So we can say profit equals revenue, which you figured out in the previous problem right over here. So we can just say 3x minus 1 over 20,000. Again, you don't have to write 1 over 20,000. You can convert that to a decimal. So you can just go to your calculator and say 1 divided by 20,000, right? And it's going to give you 5. You just move your decimal over 5 spots, right? Well, it won't do it on the calculator, so you'd have to just do that with your just the 0.00005. So now we're going to subtract the cost, which is given to you right here. Now, let's look at the way this question is worded. Find marginal profit. What does that mean? It means we want the derivative. So you can simply plug this in exactly like it is to math 8, in which case your calculator takes the derivative, or you can take the derivative yourself and plug in the numbers. Let's just go to the virtual world and do it with a math 8 right now and see how that looks. I know y'all like that. So I'm going to go, and remember, even though it wants us to do it twice, if we put it in the calculator, we can cut and paste and we only have to key it in once. So let's go math 8, right? And of course, we're using the letter X. So I'm just going to type this in, 3x minus alpha y equals 1 over 20,000 x squared, right? Now I got to subtract this, so minus 5,000 minus, remember we have to distribute that minus, 0.56x. And now I can go over here and I can say, okay, I want 20,000 hamburgers. So there we go. And what's my answer? Okay, I got something plugged in, goofed up. You know what I did, y'all? That's not right, but look what I did. I have a typo. That's okay. That should be a 1 up there, and I hit the 2. So now I can hit enter, and it's 44 cents. I was like, that's not right. So 0.44, make sure you type wrong. It's okay to have a typo, we fix it. And now it wants me to do 20,000, 24,000. So I can simply go up here and copy that. And then I can type in 24,000 and just hit enter, and I've got my answer. So 20,000 burgers and 24,000 burgers. So as I'm making more burgers, the profit's going down. I want to look at one more little thing with you. Where is the break even? In a break even point, right, your revenue equals the cost, right? So P equals 0. In other words, if you're breaking even, you don't have any profit. So the money coming in equals exactly what it costs you to do it. So we can set P equal to 0. So that's simply this right here. So I would set dP dx equal to 0. Okay, just to kind of let you know how that would work. But in order for that to work, then we're going to have to go up here and we're going to have to take that derivative. So let's do that. So dP dx is what we're going to need to find. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit and say that P equals 3x minus 1 over 20,000 x squared minus 5,000 minus 0.56x. And now we can put our like terms together there. So P equals 2.44x, because I've got 3 minus 0.56 minus 1 over 20,000 minus 5,000. So now when I take the derivative of 0.244 is, or 0.244x is 2.44 minus, if I take the derivative, if I take the derivative here, that's going to be 1 over 10,000 x. And of course, the 5,000 will be gone because we know the derivative of any constant is 0. So now I set this equal to 0. So I've got x over 10,000 equals 2.44. So x equals, so I know my break-even point is there, and that makes sense to us because when we were selling 20,000, we were making 44 cents. When we went up to 24,000, we're only making 4 cents. So as we keep going, it's going down, and we could see right here that at 24,400 burgers, we have broken even. Okay, hope that was okay. Feel free to pause it or go back and watch it again, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.